Good morning, dear friends. In last lecture, we started with analgesic chapter. Already you know that there are two types of analgesic: narcotic or open analgesic, and second one is non-narcotic or NSAID drug, that is non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. We completed first topic, that is narcotic or open analgesic. In last lecture, we started with non-narcotic or NSAID drug, or also called as analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory drug. We completed definitions, that is what are antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, then classification of NSAID drugs. In last lecture we also completed pharmacological action of aspirin drug, that is salicylate drug. Aspirin or salicylate. This aspirin is also called as acetyl salicylic acid. Remember another name, that aspirin is also called as acetyl salicylic acid. We completed various pharmacological action of aspirin, acting majorly on central nervous system. By acting on CNS, produces analgesic, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, anti-rheumatic action. Also used in treatment of gout. Then another major action, that is on cardiovascular system, that is on heart. It is used as antiplatelet agent. Then another action, that is on GIT. By acting on GIT, it increases peritoneal cell activity and thereby increases gastric secretion. Therefore, it should not be given in empty stomach or should be given after food or meal, isn't it? So these are the variety of pharmacological actions. Then we also completed therapeutic uses of aspirin. It is used as analgesic, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory in treatment of gout. It is also used locally as a fungistatic keratolytic, isn't it? Now the next point under aspirin, that we completed pharmacological action, therapeutic uses. Now regarding side effect or adverse effect. Now adverse effect or side effect that is occurs in normal pharmacological doses. You know that when aspirin given in the dose of 1 to 2 gram per day, it is used as analgesic, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, anti-rheumatic drug. When given in higher doses, that is near about 7 to 8 gram per day, it is used in treatment of gout. This is the normal pharmacological dose. At this normal pharmacological dose, this drug may produce a certain side effect or adverse effect. The major adverse effect of aspirin drug or salicylate drug, that called the salicylism. The major side effect or major adverse effect of aspirin drug, that it produces salicylism. Sometimes they may ask question, mention major adverse effect of following drug. So here one example, that is aspirin drug. So aspirin, major adverse effect or major side effect of aspirin, that is called as salicylism. This salicylism, which is mainly characterized by symptom, that it is characterized by tinnitus, deafness, vertigo, the patient ला चक्कर येते, restlessness condition occurs in patient, अस्वस्थता condition में. That group of common symptom, that is called as salicylism. So this is the major side effect of salicylate drug in higher normal doses. On long term use, it may lead to process tinnitus, deafness, vertigo, restlessness condition. That group of common symptom, that is called as salicylism. Another major side effect of salicylate, that it may lead to process hypoprothrombinemia condition in patient. Hypoprothrombinemia, that is nothing but decrease in prothrombin level in blood. When prothrombin level decreases in blood, affecting clotting time. Clotting time of blood is going to be affected. Majorly on long-term condition, if salicylate or some patient may taking aspirin drug continuously, so there may be chances of hypoprothrombinemia, that is decreasing prothrombin level in blood. You know that prothrombin, that is responsible as a clotting factor. When prothrombin level decreases, it affecting clotting of blood. That there may be chances of hemorrhage condition may occur in patient. And generally, these drugs should not be given to hemophilia patient. In hemophilia patient, there may be chances of less clotting factor, deficient clotting factor, and that leads to process clotting or coagulation of blood, and therefore these drugs should not be given to hemophilia patient. In order to overcome this side effect, always aspirin drug should be supplemented with vitamin K. Vitamin K, that causes clotting of blood, that is a clotting factor, and therefore generally whenever it is given for long term treatment, it is supplemented with vitamin K. Sometimes they may be asked you reason why aspirin or salicylate drug supplemented with vitamin K. So you should remember that the another major side effect of aspirin that we should process hypoproteinemia. This hypoproteinemia that is decrease in prothrombin level in blood, that affecting clotting of blood. Suppose if continuously given to hemophilia patient, there may be chances of bleeding may occur continuously in patient. To overcome this, always it is supplemented with vitamin K. So remember that sometimes they may be asked why it is supplemented with vitamin K. Another reason, another side effect or adverse effect that it leads to process nausea, vomiting, epigastric distress or GIT bleeding may occur or internal hemorrhage condition may take place. This is because of what? Because it acting by inhibiting the synthesis of prostaglandin. When prostaglandin synthesis is inhibited, peritoneal cell activity increases and that leads to increased gastric hydrochloric acid secretion. Excessive gastric hydrochloric acid secretion that leads to process peptic ulceration. Therefore, this aspirin drug should not be given to peptic ulcer patient, even should not be given in empty stomach, or it should be given after food or after meal. So overcome this nausea, vomiting, epigastric distress, GIT bleeding or internal hemorrhage. So these are what? These are the adverse effect or side effect of aspirin drug. It is used in the dose of 1 to 2 gram for analgesic, antibiotic, anti-inflammatory action, anti-rheumatic action. While for treatment of gout, it is used in the dose of 7 to 8 gram per day. Now the trade name for aspirin tablet, that Ecosprin tablet, Volosprin tablet, soluble aspirin tablet available in market, that is used as antiplatelet agent. Even aspirin tablets available in the dose of 1 to 2 gram in divided doses given by oral route of administration. But if this aspirin drug given in overdoses or consumption occurs in overdoses, may lead to process salicylate poisoning. That so last time we completed morphine poisoning. Now the second type of poisoning which is important in examination, that mention symptoms and treatment of salicylate poisoning. This salicylate poisoning occurs whenever there is a repetitive consumption of salicylate drug occurs or overdoses of salicylate consumption may lead to process poisoning symptom. And if salicylate consumed in overdoses, it may change electrolyte imbalances may occur in patient. And these electrolyte imbalances leads to process GIT disturbances, vomiting occurs, internal GIT bleeding may take place, and that may affect into patient. In addition to this, it also causes restlessness condition, anxiety condition, restlessness condition occurs in patient. To overcome this, what is the treatment for salicylate poisoning? First treatment, immediately there is a gastric lavage treatment given to the patient. Gastric lavage, that is nothing but washing of stomach with dilute potassium permanganate. This dilute potassium permanganate solution remove unabsorbed poison from GIT. So the first treatment given in salicylate poisoning patient, that is gastric lavage treatment, that is washing of stomach with dilute potassium permanganate to remove unabsorbed poison. That is hospitalization is going to be done and then gastric lavage treatment. Another treatment, that is sodium bicarbonate drug or alkalinization treatment should be given to the patient. This alkalinization treatment or sodium bicarbonate treatment used in metabolic acidosis condition. It causes metabolic acidosis. Electrolyte imbalances take place. There is a severe vomiting occurs to patient. GIT bleeding may take place. To overcome this metabolic acidosis condition, sodium bicarbonate treatment or alkalinization, which neutralize excessive gastric hydrochloric acid and thereby reduces GIT bleeding or reduces this hyperacidity condition. Another treatment given to this patient, that is called as forced diuretic treatment given to the patient. Under forced diuretic, generally mannitol injections or furosemide injection. These drugs facilitating excretion of salicylate from body. When excretion of salicylate takes place fastly, reduces poisoning symptom. So the another treatment given in salicylate poisoning, that is called as forced diuretic treatment, which increases urine flow, urine formation, and thereby facilitating excretion of salicylate from body. Generally mannitol injections or furosemide injections given to the patient. And then another treatment that patient maintain with saline solution, like 5% wet by volume dextrose injection or linker lactate injection, saline solution given to the patient. In addition to this, another treatment given, that is hypnotic and sedative drug given to the patient. Now hypnotic and sedative drug that relieve this restlessness condition or anxiety. की patient अस्वस्थ तो झालेला आहे, restlessness condition जे झाले, in order to treat this symptom, generally hypnotic and sedative drug given to the patient in order to process calming effect. So this is the line of treatment used in salicylate poisoning. So sometimes they will be asked for 4 marks, mention symptoms and treatment of salicylate poisoning. So you are supposed to write down all these symptoms that is related with adverse effect. When given in higher doses, it produces this type of symptom. And this is the line of treatment. First treatment, that is gastric lavage treatment. Then sodium bicarbonate or alkalinization treatment in order to neutralize excessive gastric hydrochloric acid. Then forced IV drug in order to facilitate excretion of aspirin drug, mannitol injections or furosemide injections given to the patient. Then saline solution like 5% beta-glucan dextrose or piperacillin or normal saline solution. And then another treatment, that is hypnotic and sedative drug given in order to overcome restlessness and anxiety condition. So this is the salicylate poisoning. So this is the first type under classification, that aspirin or salicylate drug. From this aspirin, that is most important one, and methyl salicylate, that is used as a counter irritant, and rubefacin generally added in iodized preparations. Now the second type under NSAID, that is para-aminophenol derivatives. Para-aminophenol are also called as aniline derivatives. Under this, example paracetamol and phenacetin. Now here you remember that for other drug, you remember the therapeutic uses and doses of this drug. Pharmacological actions are going to be same as that aspirin. Mechanism of action is also same. See the example, that is paracetamol. This paracetamol, that is majorly used as antipyretic drug. Remember this. It is majorly used as antipyretic, that is used in fever or in pyrexia. Generally it is given in the dose of 4 gram, maximum dose per day, that is 4 gram in divided dosage. 500 milligram tablet, 650 milligram tablet available in market. Even injectable preparations also available in market. Maximum dose, that is 2 to 4 gram in divided doses given by oral route of administration. It is majorly used as antipyretic. It doesn't show analgesic, anti-inflammatory, anti-rheumatic action. Nowadays, paracetamol drug available in combination with ibuprofen, diclofenac, nimesulide, mefenamic acid. These are the other NSAID drugs. These are the other non-narcotic. Along with this, nowadays combinations available in market. You know that Flexon tablet available in market. It contains what? It contains ibuprofen with paracetamol. When this given, it is used as analgesic, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, and anti-rheumatic also. Generally, diclofenac with paracetamol. Diazepam tablet available in market. That is the trend name. So when used in combination, this paracetamol when used in combination with this drug, it is used as an NSAID drug. It is used as analgesic, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, and anti-rheumatic drug. So generally, paracetamol given in combination with this drug. Nowadays, even mefenamic acid with paracetamol, that is most effective as an antipyretic drug, analgesic drug to relieve all types of pain. But plain paracetamol, that is used as antipyretic agent. Another example here under aniline, that is phenacetin. This phenacetin used as antipyretic and analgesic. But on long-term use of phenacetin, it may lead to process methemoglobinemia condition. Methemoglobinemia, that is nothing but increasing level of methemoglobin in blood, which may produce toxic effect. And due to this reason, nowadays use of phenacetin is going to be decreased because of the major side effect of phenacetin that leads to process methemoglobinemia, that is increasing methemoglobin level in blood, which is toxic to patient, and therefore nowadays phenacetin is not used in clinical practice. Paracetamol, that is the, you know that calpo, crocin, metacin tablets available in market, and this paracetamol in combination with other drug, various trade name already we discussed that ibuprofen with paracetamol, Flexon tablet, diclofenac with paracetamol, that is Diazepam tablet, nimesulide with paracetamol. There may be so many preparations are going to be available in market. Sumo tablet, mefenamic with paracetamol, metagesic tablets available in market. So this is second type. Then third type, that is ibuprofen, butaprofen, and ketoprofen. These drugs belonging to propionic acid derivatives. In these drugs, you just remember the doses of this drug, route of administration and all these drugs are effective by oral route, and mechanism is going to be same. Already we discussed under salicylate or aspirin that these drugs also act by the same mechanism, that inhibiting synthesis of prostaglandin from arachidonic acid and thereby increases pain tolerating capacity, produces cutaneous vasodilation, decreases capillary permeability, and thereby used as analgesic, antipyretic and anti-inflammatory drug. So ibuprofen, ketoprofen, that is ibuprofen, that is Brufen tablet, that is the trade name available in market, generally used in the dose of 1 to 2 gram in divided doses. Similarly, aryl acetic acid derivative. This aryl acetic acid derivative, that is diclofenac. So these all drugs are used as analgesic, anti-inflammatory and anti-rheumatic. If given in combination with paracetamol, they are also used as antipyretic. So remember this, that whenever they ask, mention dose, route of administration and one important use of ibuprofen. Remember that it is used in the dose of 1 to 2 gram in divided doses. Brufen tablet, 600 milligram tablet, 400 milligram tablet available in market. Thrice a day, 3 times a day given to the patient. That is maximum dose 1 to 2 gram by oral route of administration. And generally 500 milligram paracetamol is given. It produces analgesic, antipyretic, anti-inflammatory, anti-rheumatic action. Similarly, diclofenac, trade name, that is Overan tablet, Overan injections available in market. It is used in the maximum dose, that is 300 milligram by oral route of administration. 50 milligram, 75 milligram, 100 milligram tablets of diclofenac available in market. So maximum dose, that is 300 milligram and 100 milligram of diclofenac with 500 milligram paracetamol, or 50 milligram diclofenac with 500 milligram paracetamol. These combinations available in market. So the trade name for diclofenac, that is Overan tablet. Overan will contain plain diclofenac sodium, isn't it? Then fourth type, that is mefenamic acid, which is belonging to methylenic acid derivatives. So same concentration, 100 to 200 milligram given by oral route of administration. One more example, phenylbutazone and oxazonebutazone. This phenylbutazone and oxyphenbutazone drug are used as prodrug. Already we completed under general pharmacology. That prodrug means what? This drug, suppose phenylbutazone as such become inactive, but after metabolism it converted into active form, and such a drug molecule, that is called as prodrug. So this phenylbutazone, that is used as a prodrug, and after metabolism it forms the active product, which leads to produces analgesic, anti-inflammatory, anti-rheumatic action, also used in treatment of gout also. Already we completed what is gout and line of treatment, drugs used in treatment of gout. That is also important question. Then last drug, that is piroxicam. This piroxicam, that is belonging to oxycam derivatives, it is used in the dose of 20 to 40 milligram by oral route of administration. This is also most useful drug in rheumatism. In संधिवातामध्ये सुद्धा पिरोक्सिकामचा यूज जास्त केला जातो, and in Cipla company there is a trade name, that is Pirox DT tablet available in market. So used in the dose of 20 to 40 milligram by oral route of administration. So these are the variety of the drug. Under these drug you remember just the doses, route of administration is important. Remember that except paracetamol, that is used as antibiotic, but remaining all drugs, if they ask you just write down that these are the analgesic, anti-inflammatory, anti-rheumatic, and additionally if they ask phenylbutazone, piroxicam, that also used in treatment of gout also, isn't it? So you remember the doses, trade name for this drug, and here we finish third chapter under drugs acting on CNS. I think second chapter, that is one is general anesthetic and second one analgesic. So this is the last lecture under analgesic, both type narcotic and non-narcotic. So try to complete all the notes today. If possible in next week I will give the questions which is asked in examination. ते सगळे क्वेश्चन तुम्हाला सगळ्यांनी सॉल्व करायचे, नोटबुक मध्ये लिहून ठेवायचे. मे बी इम्पॉर्टंट इन सेशनल as well as in annual examination, isn't it? So this is regarding analgesic. Next time we start with the next chapter, that is hypnotic and sedative. So thank you.